We're here with Wade Garard. He's the head of Motor MVB. Wade, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do for men's volleyball?
Sure. So Motor MVB is a foundation that I co-founded with John Speraw to drive growth of boys and men's volleyball. And our effort is kind of a three-part campaign. Motor MVB is a public awareness campaign, just getting more boys introduced to volleyball at a younger age. A lot of guys start playing at 17 and they wish they started playing at 14. Second part of this is an advocacy campaign. So we're out and we're meeting with athletics directors, encouraging high schools, and particularly a lot of college programs to start men's volleyball teams. And we continue to see a lot of growth, and happy to speak to that. And the third part of it is a capital campaign, because what we find is that with philanthropy, when you can make a contribution to an institution, that administrator, that AD is much more likely to add a program if they know it's going to be supported. So philanthropy and contributions accelerates the pace of growth, and that's Motor MVB.
You know that due to your contributions, a lot of programs have been popping up at the NAIA and Division II level. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Sure. Well, a lot of this is not novel. There's been a lot of people who've worked really hard to advocate and start new programs. Division III has seen tremendous growth, and we had 65 programs 5 years ago. Now we're over 100 Division III programs. So since we started, we decided to focus on Division II and NAIA, and especially Division I. We have announced awarded grants of $245,000 in our first year. Motor MVB, we've raised $1 million to date in 13 months since we've been at it. So a lot of generous volleyball, passionate fans, former players, families, athletes have stepped forward to allow those funds to be raised so that we could now make grants to, so far, 2 Division II programs, Damon College and Urbana University in Ohio, and then also NAIA. So we announced in about a 60-day period, end of last summer, early fall, 4 NAIA grants, and that moved that number, the category of our sport, from 36 schools to 40, which makes men's volleyball a championship, national championship sport for NAIA. So pretty exciting to see that growth, and now we've got our sights set on Division I programs, and we think we're going to continue to see growth across the board.
Tell us a little bit about what you saw here tonight. Some high-level play, 2 top 10 teams in the country. Does that speak a little bit to the hope that you have of being able to see play like this all throughout the country?
Yeah, I think it's important. We're seeing the talent level. I mean, just anecdotally knowing John Speraw for 10 years, I mean, when I first knew him, he recruited on a 100-mile strand of beach right here. And now everyone has got to get to the Midwest. They've got to get to Chicago. They got to get to a lot of places. And we're seeing talent on the floor from these 4 teams today at the AVCA Showcase. But there's guys from all over. So pretty exciting volleyball at every division. And that's one of the perks of my job, is to be able to see a lot of that volleyball. And I think it's pretty exciting. So I think the performance here was good. I do know that there is a Pac-12 athletics director who's looking at and certainly willing to explore volleyball, particularly as women's beach has grown, right? So we could be a nice combination to add beach and men's volleyball at the same time. And he came and met with John Speraw, talked to Dan Guerrero, the UCLA AD. And so when you can see athletes like this playing at Pauley, this kind of a crowd, this caliber of play, and you're now tempted or exploring adding men's volleyball, and you see stuff like this, I mean, it's really exciting for the fans, and I think it's important to showcase these kinds of tournaments. So,
for those interested, what can a fan, a parent, a family member do to help continue to build your program, to help build even more programs?
So we are looking for involvement and investment. So we encourage Motor MVB as a place, as a community foundation essentially for men's collegiate volleyball. Give, and you can do so at www.motormvb.com. But we're also looking for advocacy champions. So going to high school athletics associations and encouraging sanctioning if your state is not a state where boys high school volleyball is sanctioned. We're growing at a 15% clip right now, and second fastest growing sport for boys in high school. So it's exciting, but we need a lot of folks intentionally, deliberately, in an organized way, making calls, introducing information to ADs. What I found in meeting with ADs is that for Division I and Division II, many of them do not know that this is only 4.5 scholarships. they might assume it's 12 scholarships like the women's game. And so this, compared to a lacrosse, which they're looking at, compared to other sports, I mean, it might be a relatively inexpensive buy-in, but the administrators just don't know that. They have not been introduced to the opportunity of men's volleyball. So we had 16 states represented on a conference call that we're now having monthly, of people that are working in their states as ambassadors for Motor MVB or the game. And then lastly, we're looking for introductions to administrators. So if you or someone you know works on a college board of trustees or volunteers in that way or knows an athletics director or a college president, those are the kinds of introductions that do matter. When we can be introduced at that kind of a level to an administrator, then we can at least have a conversation about them exploring volleyball. So contributions, introductions, and more champions to advocate. That's what we need.
Wade, we're really thankful for all you've done, and we're really excited to see where men's volleyball goes from here on out. We appreciate your time with Off the Block Blog. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.